Hello, I am Kevin Dwayne, and I'm Creative Director of IamKevinDwayne.com and Creative Director of Supreme Cleaning Academy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to give you 5 secrets that you can apply when meeting with prospective clients. So, before we get into these 5 secrets, I'm going to give you a rundown of something that's very important. When you're meeting with a prospective customer for the first time, you want to be very clear that you're going in with confidence, because confidence always wins. Now, the reason why confidence is important is because you're going to build yourself up as an authority when you're meeting with that new prospective customer. So, how do you build yourself up as an authority? Well, of course, when you're meeting with them the first time, you don't know their facility, so you can't drag them by the hand and walk them throughout the facility and show them the building. So that's not what I mean. When I say build yourself as an authority, I'm saying that you need to be so professional and so knowledgeable about the cleaning industry that the customer automatically, through psychology, lets you lead them on the walkthrough. So that gives you a different type of perception with that customer. They have a different type of perception of you as a vendor when you're able to lead them as an authority figure. So that's why you need to go in with confidence, and this is why that's important. So there's a lot of psychology that's going on with this. When you're dealing with sales, you have to understand that just as much as the client is buying your services, they're buying you as a person. Because if you don't represent yourself well, they're not going to go with your services at all, because you are a reflection of your business. Okay, so let's get into the 5 secrets. Secret number 1, you need to start from the outside of the building when you begin the walkthrough process. So most vendors, they start from the inside of the building, but you're going to start from outside of the building for several reasons. And the things that you're going to look for is if the dumpster is on the side of the building or not. Sometimes I've seen locations where the building is actually on the front of the building. Usually it's on the back of the building, but you're going to identify where that dumpster is at. And you're going to see if it's very, very trashy, if there's a lot of trash and debris all around that bin, if the bin itself is just very nasty, if it needs to be changed out, if they need a new bin, if they have the right size bin. So that's one thing you're going to look at outside of the building. You're going to go around to the front of the building and look at the front facade of the building. And you're going to look at the grass. You're going to make sure that it's cut, that it's treated well. You're going to look at the windows and make sure that the windows are nice and clean. You're going to look at the bushes and the shrubs and the plants and the gardening. And you're going to make sure all that is in pristine condition. You're going to look at the parking lot and make sure that the parking lot is nice and tidy, it's clean. The stripes in the parking lot are nice and painted and bright, because if they're not, then this is an opportunity for not only to you to show the customer that they can improve on certain areas that's going to beautify their building from the outside. It's going to give you an opportunity as a professional to upsell them on additional services. So for example, if you notice that their landscaping is in total disarray and you have a partnership or you have created an alliance with the landscaping company, this may be an opportunity for you to upsell that customer, that potential customer, on additional services. So the likelihood that you're going to identify something, if you're doing things the right way, it should be very, very high, because most buildings they're lacking in something where the building can be improved upon from the outside. So that's secret number 1. Secret number 2, as you start that walkthrough inside the building, you want to be clear that as you're going about your normal routine of checking things off as far as cleaning is concerned, you want to be sure that you're looking at the ceiling tiles. You're going to look at the condition of the ceiling tiles, but you're trying to identify if any of those ceiling tiles have watermarks. If you identify any type of water stains, you can point that out to the customer right away. Because if there's a water stain, there's likely going to be some type of drip or some type of damage or mold or something major that could be going on behind those tiles if there's water stains on the ceiling tiles. And again, this is an opportunity for you to point that out to the customer, because it's going to show not only that you are an authority and that you are knowledgeable in this industry and that you know what you're doing, but it's going to show that you are in their best interest as a service provider, because you're pointing out things that are beyond the scope of cleaning. And anytime you're pointing out things beyond the scope of what you're there to provide a service for, it's just showing a different level of expertise and professionalism to that customer. And again, this is going to build you as an authority with that customer. Secret number 3. As you're on the walkthrough, you want to find the custodial clauses. All of the custodial clauses in that facility, you need to identify where they are. So the things that you're going to look at with the custodial clauses are the cleanliness, the organization of the closet. You're going to ensure that if they have vacuums or they have buffers or high-speed machines or whatever the case may be, you want to make sure that the machinery is nice and clean. There's no wax, there's no stripper building up on the machinery. You're going to make sure that the cords are nice and wound up. You're going to make sure that all the products are lined up and they're nice and neat and appropriately labeled. Then you're going to make sure that all their paper products are stacked up nice and neat and in order. You're going to make sure that the lighting is efficient in that space. And you're going to make sure that they have all the appropriate cleaning products while you're there, and that they're not trying to use just one single solitary universal product like a NutriCleaner to do all the cleaning, because there's a lot of companies, they try to skimp on price by having a single product to use throughout that facility, and it's just not efficient, it's not effective for that customer's use. Because when you're using just a NutriCleaner, like in the bathrooms, for example, things are not being appropriately disinfected. So I've gone on many walkthroughs where I've seen past service providers or their current service providers, they'll have a single cleaner in there, and I'll point that out to the customer right away, and I'll let them know that their facility is not being appropriately cleaned because they only have a NutriCleaner in here because that company is trying to save on price, and they're shortening their services by not giving them what they're paying for because their place is not being disinfected the appropriate way. So that's another selling to. Another thing that you want to point out to them is that if that closet is in disarray, the chances are with that customer, they already know it in the back of their minds, because the customer goes into the custodial closets more often than a vendor would like to think they are, because they need things throughout the day, such as toilet paper, paper towels. They need to go in there and grab a vacuum. Sometimes they may need an actual cleaner or something. So they take note of whether that closet has the appropriate items in there, but they also take note of whether it's clean and nice and orderly. So they may not even say anything, but they're definitely recording it in the back of their minds. So that's another thing to keep your eye on, and you can let them know that if you have that contract, that closet would never look that way if it's in disarray. Secret number 4. You want to be clear and you want to be sure that you're looking at their paper products. So when you go into the restroom or that custodial closet, you want to see if they're using multi-fold towels for their restrooms and kitchenettes, or if they have a jumbo roll. So this is a huge opportunity, especially if you're working for, if you're bidding and providing a proposal for a large facility. This could be a huge opportunity. So for example, in the past, I've had customers that spend thousands of dollars just on their paper products alone. So this is where you can identify an opportunity, because if they have the multi-fold towels, you can let them know that they can switch to a universal jumbo roll, and it's going to be cleaner and it's going to last a lot longer, and they're going to save money versus that multifold towel. Because what happens with multifolds is that they're just simply messy. They're not efficient, they're not effective, they're not sustainable, and through time, you're going to save more money using a jumbo roll than a multifold. And they're just simply messy with multifolds. If you pack them, if you jam them the wrong way, they're stuffed, and you have to pull out a multifold towel, and a bunch fall out, and they're all over the floor, and it's just an absolute mess. So you can upsell again if you have a partnership with a supplier, and you can provide them with cost savings on jumbo rolls, which likely you could do if you create some type of partnership or an agreement with a representative at a local supply distribution company. You can make those type of arrangements for your customer and get them better prices. And the same thing with toilet paper. You want to make sure they don't have small rolls, because what happens with small rolls is that they create what's called core waste. So if you ever take a single small roll and you see there's still a little bit of toilet paper on it, that's called core waste. So, for example, when a custodian or janitor or environmental safety services employee is going in, they're changing out a toilet paper roll that's a small roll, and it still has a little bit of toilet paper on it, and they just throw it away anyway, or they store it somewhere, that is called core waste. So where you upsell them is that you tell them, hey, if you buy the jumbo roll of toilet paper, you're not going to have any core waste, and that jumbo roll is going to last a lot longer, it's cheaper, it's more effective, so on and so forth. And you're going to save money on the back end if you go with the jumbo roll paper towels and the jumbo roll toilet paper. So again, this is cost savings to the customer. They appreciate it. And if you're telling them that they can save money while you're on that walkthrough and you're trying to help them beautify their building, it's going to be in your favor, and you're going to get that much closer to closing that deal despite who your competition is. Okay, so secret number 5 is the lighting. You want to look at the lighting on your walkthrough. Most places, especially here in the US, they're still on the old yellowy colored lights, and you can identify what LED lights look at just because they're brighter, they're cleaner, they burn better, they're more efficient, they're more durable. All these good things about LED lighting. They last a lot longer, and the cost savings again is going to save the customer money on the back end. So the way you tie all this together is that you have to create some type of partnership with somebody who can provide all these different services, and you tell them, hey, I can get you more business for your business if you're willing to give me some type of discount to our customer, and you create some type of agreement with them where you can get paid through that transaction some type of way, whether that's the landscaping company, whether that's the lighting company, whether that's the paper products that you're going to try to broker a deal on, and so on and so forth. So those are my 5 secrets for applying to your business when you're trying to close a deal and you're trying to present yourself as an authority, because that's what's important. That's what gets you close to closing that deal, is when a client knows that you are in their best interest. And the psychology of it all is they're buying you just as much as they're buying your services. So I hope you got some great takeaways from this video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Go get yourself a laser distance measurer. I have these on my website at iamkevindewayne.com. Again, please subscribe if you haven't, and thank you for watching.